everyone, I have had a request from a very dear friend to do a video showing fall leaves or autumn leaves, as we say in the UK, using Polychromos pencils. So that's what I'm going to do for you in this video. This page is actually from Rita Berman's book, Meine Reise Durch Europa. This is one of her London pages, as you may have been able to guess from the content. But here at the bottom there's a little cluster of leaves, and I thought it would be fun to do a few of these in an autumnal style. I think it'll work with this page. We've got all the rain, things like that. I know it rains a lot in England, and I wouldn't say particularly in London, but it does rain a lot in England. But I think these, it rains a lot more in the autumn, so I think doing these as autumnal leaves will work. So I'm going to start by grabbing some colours. I'm going to grab a brown to start with. I'm trying to think. I think this shade is quite a nice one. This is actually the burnt ochre. It's quite a reddy brown. I think it works quite well. So we're going to do this leaf here. I've just picked a random one. I'm not going to sort of base them on real leaves. I'm just going to sort of have a go. So we'd have this sort of stalky twig bit, which is probably going to be brown. And what we'll do is we'll take some brown into the main part of the leaf as well, like this. So I'm just putting it in gently. I don't want it too thick because we're going to blend it into other colours. And then what we'll do, because the leaves turn, they don't go immediately brown, I thought we would use a Chromium green opaque and sort of blend it into that green a little bit. So I'm just going to go over the edge of the brown and trying to start off quite gently. I want them to sort of almost seamlessly blend together. In leaves, actually, there are sometimes just gaps where the colours change. But I think it can look nicer if they're slightly blended. So what I've tried to do is make there less green here, a bit more here, and then less here. And we're going to put a lighter green on the tips. But I am going to go back to my burnt ochre and just go over this little bit a little bit more, just to help it blend together a bit. I think a few layers with Polychromos always works well. Sorry about the noise. I don't know if you can hear. There's a high-pitched noise, which is my computer processing a video, which I shouldn't have really done when I was about to record. But I'm trying to multitask, as we often do. And there's also the dust cart outside. This is the earth green yellowish, and we're going to use it for the ends of the leaves. So this is one way of doing it. So you've got more green on the ends and more brown at the bottom, and you can also do them in reverse, and we'll do one in reverse a bit different to this one in a moment to show you. Now I'm going to put this green over the whole leaf. I really like the green, which is partly why, but also I think it just warms it up, blends it together. I'm not going to put it on the stick. Oh gosh, yeah, someone did tell me in a comment which you used when. I'm going to say stick. There we go. But what I am going to do is just grab a darker brown. Oh, doesn't want to come out. I'm just going to sharpen it, if I can find where I put my sharpener. There it is. So I've chosen the Walnut Brown because I think it's probably the darkest of the browns, and I'm just going to go along the edge of here a little bit, maybe just a tad, just mixed in down there, just if you're being really fussy. Just brush that off for you. There we go. So there's our first autumnal leaf. It's just sort of turning. I think it looks quite fun when they're just sort of changing colour a little bit. So that's one. And we'll do this one now, and we'll do it a bit differently. I think maybe we'll go for more reds and oranges. I'm just looking at the choice of reds. You see, we've got the pinky reds. I don't think they're going to be right. So I'm going to go for the orangey reds. I'm thinking maybe the light cadmium red. It's quite orangey, as you can probably see. We might use that one. Where should we go? We'll go at the bottom here. It's very vibrant, isn't it? Not really sure we have leaves this bright, but does it matter? Yeah. So I'm fading it, as you can see. So I'm putting more layers down here and then fading it up the leaf a little bit. Just going to pop it down, and then I'm going to go for a more orange tone. Now I'm not going to choose my brightest orange because I think it's going to really look too neon-y. So I'm going to go for this one, which is the orange glaze. Sorry, again, you'll have to believe me, it's getting a bit short. I've gone massively out the lines. Try not to do that. Well, it doesn't matter, does it? Who's looking? No one. So I'm going to take that a little bit further up. You can see that's muted it a little bit. We don't want it to be really bright and neon-y, but I am going to go over it the last little bit in a sort of yellowy tone. I think I use this one, which is the dark chrome yellow, and do the tip of the leaf and all the way down. So this is another way you could do a leaf. So we've got our sort of orangey yellow colours. This is a raindrop. I need to make sure I don't colour it like it's a leaf. I probably would, knowing me. I just realised the book looks really wonky. It's not. It's the picture is wonky. So this one I think we'll do with more browns rather than greens, to show you a sort of more brown example. So I'm going to start with the dark brown, the walnut brown that we used a little bit on this one. And really I would do the stick bit in that colour, but we can't really because it's black. So I'll start from here. And that's quite dark, isn't it? I don't know if I've actually ever seen a leaf quite that dark, but never mind. We started it now. There we go. So there's that one. I'm going to go for a lighter tone. Yeah, I think we'll go for this one. I've got new browns and they're hard to get out of the tray. This is the Dyke Brown. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. I can't. The light's glaring off it. That could be a bit of a sharpen. I'm just going to check it really is the Dyke Brown. It is, because I couldn't even see it. So I'm going to go over the top of this really dark brown. I've just realised I forgot to put some of my recycling out and the dust cart has gone now. Never mind, have to wait another week. It's just a pile of paper. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there and I'm going to warm it up a little bit at the end by going back to this unburnt ochre that we used for this leaf. I think it'll look nice on the end of this one. So I'm going to start at this end on the tip and do it quite hard. I want a nice dark bit there, and then fade it into here. Now if you find it doesn't blend particularly well, do a few more layers of each colour, gentle light layers. So I'll show you. I'll go back to the Dyke Brown, and the idea is to go back over here and just overlap it really gently, so I'm not pressing hard, and just putting a light layer on like that, and go back to the burnt ochre and do another light layer. Just keep building up those layers until you're happy how it looks. I'm going to put a layer of this right over the top just to warm up the whole thing. Put a bit more. There we go. Now, should we do one more? Yeah, let's do one more. Let's do this one. What should we do for this one? We do in the UK sometimes have a violety colour leaf, which I'm going to try to do. It's called a copper beech. We'll do a copper beech leaf for this one. And I think this Caput Mortuum violet and the Caput Mortuum, that's not it, yeah. And just the Caput Mortuum are quite good impersonations of that colour. The violet is slightly darker, so I'm going to use that first. Should I use it on the tip or the base? The base, make the base darker. So although it's called violet, it looks quite brown. And those leaves are the same. They look brownish violet. It's quite an interesting colour. If you look it up on your search engine, you'll be able to see them if you haven't seen them before, but they are quite distinctive and pretty. But as you can see, I'm fading this colour up now. So I've built up quite a few layers here and then reduced the layers going up to the tip. And then we're going to grab this one, which is just the Caput Mortuum, not the violet-y tone. And we're going to start it here, not right at the base, and build up a gentle layer all the way up. I'd like to try and fade it a little bit towards the tip. So I'm not pressing particularly hard at the moment. I'll just build up the layers as I see fit. But I don't want that line. There's a line there which I want to get rid of. There we go. Oh, out of the line she goes. Now, for me it still looks a little bit too brown. I'm thinking I might just put a layer of burnt sienna over the top. I'm just going to sharpen it just to try and brighten it just slightly. We'll see if it makes any difference. You can make this decision when you have a look and see whether you think it makes a big enough difference. So I'm just going over. If you want a bit more contrast between the shades, this is the Caput Mortuum Violet. I'm just going to put a bit more down at this end to try to make it look more like there are different shades of colour in the leaf, because I feel like it was looking like it was almost all one colour. Like that. Just give it a sweep. Yeah, I'm happy with those. So those are a few ideas for you. To be honest, I prefer the ones that have got a bit of green in, but then I like green. And these ones later, I'm going to do that just green, because sometimes in the autumn, the leaves are just green. But we could also do with quite a yellow one. So I think I'll do a yellow one. I might do that for you, actually. Would you like a yellow one? Let's have a go. I'm thinking our sort of Naples yellows, green golds might be a good colour for the leaves. So I'm going to start with this green gold. So it's a slightly browny, which I think might be a nice way to start. Hang on. Move you a bit more into the middle. There we go. So I'm going to do that on the stick part and at the bottom, and sort of fade it up a little bit. This is a rather pretty colour, I have to say. I do like it. And then I'm going to go in with this one, I think. This is the light yellow ochre. And I'm going to go over the top of the gold, green gold on the leaves. I'll probably just leave the stalk. I'm going to do a lighter one on the tip. I'm going to use this one. I don't know what it is. 185. I'll let you know. Naples Yellow. And I'm going to use that in quite a hard layer here and blend it into these darker ones. I may just go over the whole thing because it will warm, brighten and blend all at the same time. A little bit. Okay, so let's pull those into view. So there's our little cluster of autumnal leaves. So I hope that gave you a few different ideas. There's quite a lot of different combos there to try and think about. So I hope that was useful both to my friend who asked for it and to everybody else as well. So thank you so much for watching and happy colouring.